Once upon a time, in the surf-washed coastal town of Moggs Creek, a young boy stood barefoot on a milk crate, peering over the fence at Kardinia Park. The stands were alive with roars, the field awash with his heroes, Geelong men made of myth and muscle. Among the faithful, that boy dreamed of one day running alongside them. That boy was Patrick Dangerfield. Now, on a cold Friday night under the Kardinia lights, that barefoot dreamer becomes the 25th player in the history of Australian rules football to reach 350 games. But for those who have watched his journey, counted his tackles, gasped at his bursts from stoppage, and felt the seismic impact of his presence, this milestone is more than a number. It's the celebration of a unicorn who transformed a club, a player who defied limits, and a leader who redefined greatness. Patrick Dangerfield is no ordinary footballer. He's a once-in-a-generation figure who doesn't just play the game, he bends it to his will. Before he was a cat, he was a crow. For 154 games, Adelaide saw the emergence of a young, explosive midfielder with the physique of a wrestler and the speed of a greyhound. He arrived with fury, but always with an eye homeward. And when he came back to Geelong in 2016, it wasn't just a return, it was a reckoning. In the years that followed, Dangerfield added 195 games to his name in blue and white hoops. Along the way came 8 All-Australian selections, a Brownlow medal, and 3 Kardinia Greaves medals. Yet it was 2022, and that long-awaited premiership, that stood tallest, a year that finally matched his glory with gold. Chris Scott saw it unfold before his eyes. He recalls a time when the Cats, though still proud, flirted with mediocrity. We weren't quite at the crossroads, Scott says now, but we were certainly testing the edges of how long a club could remain in contention. Then Patrick arrived. With him came belief. With him came chaos. With him came the unique ability to throw a team on his back, to turn a contested ball into a moment of pure spectacle. He didn't do it all himself, Scott admits. But he did more than we could ever have hoped. Dangerfield was never just about football. He was president of the AFL Players Association, a man who could leave the locker room banter and step into a negotiation room with CEOs and league bosses, holding his own with grace and grit. He mentored teenagers and battled AFL policies. He laughed with draftees and shaped league policy, all before Sunday's first bounce. His impact wasn't confined to the four quarters. It seeped into the club's culture. He became the standard. Teammates past and present speak of a man who showed up early, trained like a madman, and stayed late to make sure no one was left behind. He inspired Gary Ablett Jr. and Joel Selwood. He ran with Tom Hawkins and lifted with Mitch Duncan. And now, like them, he joins the hallowed 350 club. It's a number drenched in history and meaning. Only a handful have crossed it: Pendlebury, Boak, Sidebottom. Dangerfield now stands with them, not behind them. Yet he remains humble. He credits the club, the people, the environment. He says Geelong's magic lies in making players want to stay, want to grind every ounce out of their careers. It's not the mind that quits, Dangerfield says. It's the body that eventually gives in. Still, his body, now 35 years old, pushes on. Not in the midfield chaos where he built his legend, but up forward, where he's become a quiet assassin. Fewer sprints, more smarts. Fewer crashes, more craft. It's a new chapter, and he's relishing it. This isn't a man clinging to the past. This is a man redefining the final act. And perhaps, in doing so, he's bought himself more time. More Friday nights under lights. More roars from the terraces. More chances to chase the thrill that first grabbed him as a boy on a milk crate. I'm loving the game more than ever, he confesses. Maybe that's because I know I'm closer to the end than the start. But he's not done. Not yet. He finds joy in the stories of the next generation. He sees himself in their wide eyes, their stumbles, their laughs. And through them, he finds his youth again. That keeps things fun, he says. That keeps me wanting to be around. Scott calls him a unicorn, a beast unlike any before or since. Fife had brute strength, Martin had flair, but Dangerfield. He was singular. He exploded out of packs like a man shot from a cannon. He moved in ways science couldn't predict. There are things he does, still does, that no one else can replicate, Scott says. In a sport built on toughness, Dangerfield brought beauty to brutality. His runs were symphonies. His tackles, choreographed violence. His leadership, unwavering. And now, as game 350 beckons, a curtain is pulled back on a career not yet concluded but already legendary. He will jog out on Friday night to a thunderous ovation. Children in the stands will wear his number. Grown men will clap with tears in their eyes. And somewhere, a little boy will stand on a crate, peering over the fence, dreaming of being just like him. He's not just a player. He's a landmark in time. A living monument to commitment, endurance, and excellence. For Dangerfield, football has never just been a game. It's been his compass, his challenge, his stage. Now the boy who watched has become the man who changed it all. He is not a footnote in Geelong's history. He is a headline, a chapter, a turning point. So let the siren sound. Let the crowd rise. Patrick Dangerfield, local kid, fearless cat, football unicorn, takes his place among the immortals.